party. Caller, you've been so patient. I was going to say good night, but I don't want to be rude. What's your name, comment, and or question?
Well, hey, this is Bryce.
Bryce, my man, what's going on, dude?
Doing good. I do agree with a lot that you're saying tonight. I do agree with a lot what Alex said. At one point, I think the reason that the establishment, well, in terms of the black establishment, is so adamant about Hillary is because in the 90s, even with all of the mess of stuff that the Clintons did do, they look at it, well, in the 90s, you know, black people did very well, and, you know, we were, I guess, making it, quote unquote, you know, and everything was good. And of course, you know, Bush and all that. And so they feel like the status quo is, well, if we get Clinton back, we'll do better. You know, we had Bush, we didn't do well. Obama, 50-50. But with Clinton, we'll get back to 100%. And what they're failing to realize is that it's just BS. And we have, you know, like for them to just to take shots at Killer Mike and other people that support Bernie, it just doesn't make any sense. And it's just really kind of like, I just don't understand what they're not seeing, why they're not seeing all the videos and things that they literally said about, especially with people in jail. I just don't understand how we're not seeing that. And we're just want to push her in. And I understand that we don't want none of the Republicans in, and I think they'd probably be worse. But Hillary wouldn't be no better. I mean, you know, she might not be as crazy as a Republican that's finally running, and she might not go to war on, you know, blow up places like that extreme, but it's still kind of the same thing. But with Bernie, we know it'll be different. And like you said about the guy you talked to who want to keep it the same, it's working for them. And they fear, they know that Bernie will be not only 100% progressive, but 100% change everything. And it's going to hurt the establishment. It's going to break everything. And the revolution of political will take place.
That's you've hit the nail on the head, man. There's a fear. Bryce, thanks so much for the call, man. There's a fear of the changes that Bernie will make, potentially would make. And there is a concerted effort to stop the conversation because, you know, you're either doing good in this system or you're not. That's really, you know, or you're no. You're either doing good or you're not, right? You know, those of us who are just struggling just enough to survive, you're not doing good. You know, just making the rent and having nothing left over at the end of the month, you're not doing good. You're just surviving. And that's really the way the system is set up, right? There's not enough work for the average American. You have to be exceptional. And that's not reality, right? You either have to be exceptional or you have to be born into a situation where you don't have to be even mediocre. You know, you could be born into wealth. You could be born into privilege. You could be born into elite circles and not have any talent and just be great in the world, right? Because you have access to capital, you have access to all these things. But for the rest of us, we have to not only be exceptional, but we have to be lucky. And then sometimes we are still just struggling to survive because of forces that we can't control. We can't control the cost of living. We can't control the cost of gasoline. We can't control the cost of childcare. We can't control the cost of the average rent inside. You know, those are things that we can't control. And we're thrown into this environment without any help. And so many of us are just struggling to make it. And then you have the others who, you know, summertime and the living is easy. Your daddy's rich and your mama's good looking. That's not my story. Well, my mother is good looking, but my daddy definitely wasn't rich. Folks, this has been the Benjamin Dixon Show. The moral of the story is, even though I grew up poor, I didn't forget what it was like to be poor. And I'm so glad I had the opportunity to be on the outside with the average person, because I would rather, any day of my life, I would so much rather be around average people than to be around an echelon of people who look down on someone else. That's just my story. I'm sticking with it. See you guys tomorrow.
Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.
Crazy mother.
If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.